What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of VPN Chat. Now, we are getting ready to get into some things here with this actress and dancer, because we're definitely going to talk about this dancing thing that she does. Yes, let's give it up for Miss Kateea Scott. How you doing, Kateea?
Hey, I'm well. How are you?
I'm
Oh,
doing well. You are looking vibrant.
thank you.
Yes,
Thank
this
you.
glow is happening. I love it. Oh man. Let's get started with you. Acting. How did you get started with acting? What inspired your love for acting?
I kind of fell into acting almost in a
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
So I was living in Greensboro at the time, and someone was having a play, but they were like building up to the play, so they were having events up to that date.
Hmm.
And they were going to have like an R&B night, and they happened to catch me at a karaoke and was like, "Hey, we're having an R&B night. You want to come sing at the R&B night?" And I'm like, I'm not a singer. I might be a karaokeer, but I'm not a singer, you know. But I was like, okay, sure. So went to talk to the lady, whatever, and she was like, you know what? I think I might write you in as a singing waitress in the play. Okay. All right. And I mean, again, I'm not a singer, but we'll do it. So I was going to all the rehearsals, and I became like, going through the lines and whatnot. And I
Mm.
ended up being the backup for one the main actress. And the last show, she had to go because she was a real singer. Okay. And she had to go perform, and I had to be one of the main characters for the play. And I was like, oh, I love this. Oh, I get to show all my personalities and be who I want to be when I want to be. Oh, yes. So that is how I got into acting.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. Um, so I met you through Carlos,
Yep.
Big Los.
Shout
Um,
out.
yeah,
Mhm.
we were looking for someone to play his ex-wife for Lover's Lane, um, Kevin and Nelson's mother, so Malachi and Gabe's mom. And
Mhm.
I want you to talk about your initial thoughts when you were asked to be a part of the show first. I'm going to tell you my initial thoughts when I first saw you. Because yeah.
I was like, okay, I watched it. I said, I'm not going to be convincing enough to be their mama. Like, I mean, I know some people, black don't crack, but I'm not old enough to play they're grown men, you know? So I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I don't know about this. I don't. And then, of course, watching Lover's Lane, I was like, this is a messy show. What type of role am I gonna have to play as the mother? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I didn't think I would be convincing to be the mother
Mm.
of the characters.
I will say that so when you came in because you had on the wig.
Yeah,
No, no,
okay.
no, 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 no. No, you did. You had the curly hair because season 5 you wore the wig, I think. Right? You had curly. I think you had curly hair for season 4.
I think well, I had them for both, but I think we pulled it back
Okay.
into to make me look older. I
Right.
think.
So when I first saw you, like I'm not gonna like you. To me, you sold it. I thought you were like okay, old enough to play this part. Because again, when I first met you, it was literally on set. Because again, Carlos was the one that referred you, and of course, if Carlos is referring anybody, yeah, let's rock it, let's do it. He said you were
Mhm.
great. I said let's go with it. Um, but as we talked and I got to know you, I was like, oh, she's actually younger than this part requires. Because, like I said, I thought to be honest, keep it 100. I thought you were originally the age, but I guess it's because again how they had you set up.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, you did it, but then like I said again, I got to know you. I was like, okay, yeah, she definitely is acting because she's acting older than what she really is. But no, you
Uh,
did an amazing job playing their mother. I love how stern you were, like as the character. Like it's that scene when you call Malachi and Malachi's like, I'm busy. You like that wasn't a request. I need you.
mm,
and it was just like you definitely was giving Black Mama. Like for real. Like for real. And then talk about when it was revealed that actually the mom is the one that stepped out, and that's the reason why the father left. So what was your reaction to that?
That happens a lot, and people like to keep secrets in families, and they don't want them to look at their mamas any type of wrong way. So when that I seen that and read that in the script, I was like, oh, so she was the problem. Oh, okay. That's what I said. Ooh. So to reveal that to them, like I had to think about like if that would have happened to me, where my mama was the one that stepped out on my daddy, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how I would have felt, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because all this time I was mad at my father for him doing whatever, and you were actually the reason that I didn't have that relationship with him. So, yeah, I don't know.
I want to ask you, do you think that because again the situation, obviously your character, she loves her boys. It seemed to me, and like I said, I know I wrote it, but just watching it as a viewer, it seemed to me that the mom really babies Gabe
Mm-hmm.
a lot. Do you think that do you perceive that? Do you think that?
Yes,
Okay.
she did baby him.
Okay.
But that was the youngest one.
Yeah.
So, they usually do. It's like my baby. I had the older one. I didn't really know what I was doing. Now I got this next one. I'm a baby him because I got it. I'm doing it better now. So, yeah.
I want you to talk about your character. First of all, talk about again. I want to ask you when you first got the script. What did you think of the role? Once again, when I got Carlos to ask Carlos to be the lead of this show, we talked about who we wanted it in, and your name came up. Of course, it was like he was like Kateea. It was Javetta Kateea. So it was like, all right, cool. We definitely gonna do this. Talk about your first initial reaction when you first got the scripts.
um, the initial reaction, I was just like, it's something that a lot of families deal with. First off, when I read everything, the script in a whole,
Mm,
something that a lot of families deal with. But the character as Hannah, I was like, okay, social worker, um, going into the home. Yeah, you got to be stern, but also now you feeling the father type of thing. I was like, okay, that happens. You never know where you're gonna meet your love.
that's true.
So but I thought the script overall was amazing. So I was like, I would definitely love to play the part of Hannah, so uh, but as we continue to go on the seasons, I was like, oh, okay. Hannah said, I got my eyes on the prize and I'm gonna do what I need to do. Okay.
um, it's funny because even again hearing the different feedback of when people watch the show, um, a lot of people thought Hannah was like a lot of people thought Hannah was sort of the villain somewhat. The way she just kept coming in and trying to take this child away from him.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but also I think she was doing her job.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
she was looking at the surface, not knowing what type of person he was, not knowing what was going on below, like all of the with all of the issues within that. She was looking at, you can't provide for this. This is not your son, like all of those types of things. So
Mm-hmm.
why would I leave this child for you? I'm going to check on him because my thing is I care about the child. I don't care about you. I don't care
Right.
about the mama. I care about the child. So, I mean, if she needed to be the villain, okay, whatever. She cared about the kids.
If I need to be the villain in your story, I'm gonna play
I
it
will.
well.
Exactly. Story of my life. I'll play the villain.
Do you think her personal? Because again, we end up revealing in the last season, of course, like her personal things
Yes.
that she. I mean, she talked about it briefly in season one, but like we really got to get into like what was really going on with her personal. Do you think her personal feelings had a lot to do with, of course, why she was such a big advocate
Mhm.
for Andrew?
I think, yeah, because even like she had issues with having children, these are her children. So I'm going to protect them, do whatever I can, make sure I'm paying attention to the details to make sure these kids are safe and placed in a safe space.
Hmm.
So I mean, like I said, she needs to be that villain and be hard and stern and ask the right questions and ruffle some feathers and see what type of person you are. We're gonna see that. So
Yes,
mhm.
absolutely. Um, it's one thing I have to discuss with you, which I think is funny to me. It was funny because I had to make sure I explained it to you before you read the script because I know you look at Carlos as a brother.
Yes.
Oh. And I have to do this with a lot of my actors. I have to be like, especially the actors I know that aren't going to do certain things. I'm like, okay, I'm writing as the character, not you. So
Right.
when we actually film it, of course we're gonna finagle it to where you feel comfortable. So guys, what I'm talking about is there's a scene, of course, in season
Three?
three. Yes,
I think
season
three.
three. The season three where Hannah and Nick kiss. And I remember having to tell Katia, no, Katia actually was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to kiss him because like I really see him as his brother. And I was like, well, Katia, I already knew that, and I'm not expecting you to kiss him. I said I already got it worked out how we're gonna make it work. I said I
Mhm.
wrote as Hannah and Nick, not as Katia and Carlos. So I
Yeah.
I, I know. I already know you good because she
Right.
was she was real quick to tell me I don't think I'm
Mhm.
gonna be able to do
No. Mm-mm. I'm gonna need you to rewrite that.
that. But which is funny because even with which I didn't know, I knew Javetta and Bruce had worked together before. Obviously, I know a lot of
Mhm.
y'all work together, but I
Right.
didn't know Javetta and Bruce had that brother and sister relationship either.
Oh yeah.
So when I saw, so they was both getting on me too. Like you're making me kiss him. You making me kiss
Right.
her. I didn't, guys. I promise you, I didn't know. I promise you, I was not aware. I promise you, I'm just following the characters and the story that's in my head. So,
Uh-huh. I get
but
it. I get it.
Katia made it real clear. She was like, "I am not kissing him. That's my
That,
brother. I'm not
yeah.
doing it."
Mm-mm. And I say, and also I say my brother, and I respect his wife. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. So you want to fix something now.
I heard that. No, I respect it. I respect it. But we
We
made
did.
it. Now, did you? I don't know if you noticed or not. And me and Carlos, of course, talked about this. But it was Carlos's idea for Nick and Monique to actually sleep together before he kissed Hannah.
I didn't know until it came out afterwards. Yeah,
Okay,
but I did know that.
that was his. Like in the script, it did not say that.
No,
And
it
Carlos
didn't.
was like, "Hey, I think we should go upstairs." And
And
I was
that
like,
was some
"Carlos, are you
real.
sure? Because that's gonna make Nick look really bad." He said, "No, I think we should do it." And I said, "Okay,
Mhm.
all right, co-EP, that's fine." I
Exactly.
said, "We can do that."
When I seen that, I said, "Oh, I don't know where his lips been, and I didn't kiss them now."
Okay, okay.
Like, what the mess? I said, "Oh, weird." Yeah. When they came out, I was just like, "Oh, that's messy. Oh,
Yeah,
that's messy."
yeah, yeah. I told him. I said it's gonna make Nick look really, really bad. I'm glad we did end up going that route because again, it just shows. I like when main characters have flaws. I don't like the perfect main character that does everything right. No, we are human. We have flaws. We have different things. We have little idiosyncrasies that we have our stuff. So I
True.
love that that decision was made, and of course Nick has a thorn in his side for women, obviously. So,
Yeah.
um, speaking as Kateea, who do you think Nick's true love is or was? Monique or Hannah?
Mm, I think Monique.
Okay.
I think Monique. He had, if she wouldn't have, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, you should be watching. You should have watched all season. But okay. Um, before, if she wouldn't have died, get killed,
Hmm.
she would have continuously been
Mm.
back and forth, because he wouldn't have been able to let her go. She's the one who gave him Andrew. She's always gonna have that spot in his heart, always. And he, for I don't know, like how she was addicted to drugs, he was addicted to her. That's how I
Mm.
feel.
Mm. That's a
Yeah.
very good observation.
Mm-hmm.
Very good observation. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that for sure. I like to, of course, reveal a few things, give a little secret away. Guys, Katia actually was not filming with us on season 4. So, of course, that's when the monster called COVID was really rampant. And of course, we want to keep everybody safe, and of course, health is most important. So, I just want y'all to know, if you watch season 4, you notice that Katia is not in scenes with. The only person she's in scenes with is Carlos.
Yeah.
So we ended up shooting her scene separately. But it was beautiful though. It still like flows seamlessly,
Mm-hmm.
as
Yeah.
if you were still with everybody. But um, honestly, I'm not told Carlos this. I think I told Javetta this. You all were definitely a treat to film. I think in the nick of time for me was definitely the least stressful show that I did out of all the shows that I have, because first of all, it's not a lot of people.
True.
Um, but second of all, it's just I felt like, yeah, everybody on all the shows, they're very professional, of course, but with this particular show, I just felt like we came in. We did what we needed to do. Of course, we had our fun and everything, but it was just so easy and so laid back, and it was not stressful. You come in, do your thing. We ended early a lot of times,
Yeah, we did.
which was if you're in the film business, it's rare. It's very rare that you end early, and we ended early so many times. It was like I said, it was just a joy to actually film this series. Like I said, I know I didn't have to worry about anything. I knew that we were gonna come in and do what we need to do. If there was any hiccups, it would be fixed immediately. I really enjoyed the series. I really enjoyed um producing the series. I mean, honestly, I'm a firm believer in ending when it makes sense. Um, I didn't for me. I just didn't see really where else we could go.
I did. Nick and Hannah are married and they got these kids. They it's a spinoff.
We would
That's what
have
we're
we
doing.
would we would have switched Andrew again. Lord, we went through 3 Andrews, Lord.
That baby went through a lot of changes.
A
The
lot.
puberty hit him hard. That's what it was. Puberty hit him hard. He changed colors. He was Michael Jackson, dark, then light, then dark. And I don't know. Baby. Oh, baby.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's true.
All right. So let's move on to the next thing. It was supposed to be a series, but ended up being a film. We have the Saved and the Salacious. Originally we shot the pilot as 3-way, and then the show did not get picked up. Um, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and reveal. I've never talked about this publicly. Might as well. I mean, the movie's out now, so whatever.
Okay.
So, originally 3-way was
a pilot that was shot to Fox Soul.
Oh.
I thought you knew that already. I thought I told you. I thought I told the cast.
Maybe I forgot. I'm gonna be I'm not gonna lie. You probably did.
Yes. Originally, Three Way was originally shot to Fox, so they were definitely interested. I had a pitch meeting with the person that was over programming and everything, and she was excited about it. She's like, "Yes, I think this is something good," because they don't have scripted television on their that sector of the network or whatever. They have a lot of they have a lot of Zoom shows. Like, I don't want to downgrade and say Zoom shows. I mean, but the shows are like, no, like the shows are literally like they're on Zoom or whatever they
Oh,
use.
okay. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? It's a talk show, but like it's not, they're not all in the same place. Like,
They like this.
yeah, like
They-
this. So, so I was like, okay, let's do. And then at the time, Maverick was I guess giving them the movies to show as well on their network as well, and we had a couple of our VPN movies on there too. So I thought, I was like, okay, they know my stuff. They have a they are familiar with me, so I think it'll be great to pitch a show. And one of the guys that I do know, he was the one that helped me get access to the person that's over programming. And so I had a pitch meeting. It went great. And it was, of course, in this business, the thing that we hate the most is the waiting game. It's like waiting for people to decide basically what's next for you. You know what I'm saying? So, and unfortunately, they decided not to move forward with the show. And honestly, which I was very disappointed with, just because I'm a series guy. See, I literally just wrote this post. Was it today or yesterday? Well, I don't know, but I literally said how much I enjoy making series. And the movies are cool. I think the movies are cool. I think the movies do what it need to do. It puts you out there, it puts you on bigger platforms. But for me, my passion is in creating series. Like, I love series. I think that's so. I really wanted this to be a series. I already had season one written out. I already had I had it. I was like, it was already the like what you call it, like they call it the Bible. They call it the Bible. It was already everything. I had the synopsis. I had all the layout. I had episode descriptions. I had all the characters. I had everything together. Did a whole pitch deck. I did all that stuff. I did everything, and like I said, and I really, the way the meeting went, I was really confident that we were going to move forward. But yeah, things happen. I'm not there, so I don't know. I don't know who. I don't know who decided, like, nah, we good. So, but I didn't want it to not see the light of day, because I did pitch it to other places. They weren't interested, so I didn't want it to not be seen, because I thought you guys did an amazing job on the project. So shout out to Maverick. They was like, hey, we'll take it. Of course, I just said, hey, we can just turn it into like a film.
Right.
Even though it does have a cliffhanger type ending, but it is what it
So,
is.
is it a part two?
Before we get into that, I want you to talk about your part because you are playing the unsupportive wife. I don't remember these characters' names. But I know TJ Swan is your husband, and so I don't remember, but I don't remember these names. And I know you're pregnant. Your character is pregnant. Let me clarify.
You better clear that up.
Yeah, I did. Just real quick before somebody take this and try to twist it. Your character is pregnant.
Yes.
And your character is TJ's character's wife.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
And your character is very unsupportive. What were your thoughts on this part?
I'm trying to remember everything. Listen, stuff be running together at times, and I hate
I feel
that.
it.
I apologize.
I know you're fine. I feel it. So basically, your character's husband, is in a singing group,
Yes. Okay.
and he brings home the check, and you are not happy.
Yeah, because who you supporting with that? We can't buy no bread, sir. What did you talk about? And I mean, we have a child. Not only is it you, me, and now you're about to have another one. We need to have some financial coming in here. And what did I say? I think it was a line I said, playing, I forgot what he was playing with your friends.
Yeah.
Something like, I forgot now. But yeah, that wasn't gonna do anything for us. So but with that character, I remember when I seen in there, I was like pregnant. I said, shoot, this probably gonna be all the time you see me pregnant. So let me go ahead and do this.
Okay, her
But
name was Monica Smith.
it was.
Yeah, I'm looking at the script right now. Her name was Monica Smith. I don't think we ever said the name on the
I
thing,
don't
like
think so.
we ever said it, but her name was Monica Smith, and the character, the husband's name was Terrell Smith.
I do remember saying Terrell because when we was in the bathroom or something like that, I was like, Terrell. Yeah, I do remember that now. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but that was, I think I enjoyed that one too because I don't ever think I'm gonna be I'm very supportive, so it's not me. I'm a very supportive person, but at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, we got to be able to support each other.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody wanting to pursue their dreams and, as a singer, their aspiration and their love and passion, I get that. So when I got that and I'm like, oh, I get to play the opposite of it, that's not who Kateea would be. And we need some money. So I did enjoy, I always like playing roles that are opposite of who I am.
Yeah.
So
Here's the line that you said that you were searching for. Working and singing with your friends are two different things. You need to get a job.
yes.
And then he says, singing is my job. And you say, no, sir.
No,
It's a
sir.
hobby. It was cute when it was just the two of us, but very soon you're going to have another mouth to feed, and we can't take care of our baby with your pipe dream.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. You
Jeez.
wrote that. What you talking about? Sheesh. You
Jeez. I know. But it was the way you delivered it, though. Like,
No, sir. I remember that. No, sir. Because when I said it, he was like, that is what. No, sir. It is a hobby. What you mean? No, that is not paying no bills right now. I get it. Right now, it's a hobby. When it
yeah.
start making the money, that is your job. That is your career. But right now, you just playing and lollygagging. Woo, woo, woo. No, sir. You're not doing nothing. We need more than that.
At the end of which is now a film, at the end of it, of course, we see that the group that gets signed to this record label. Do you think is Monica happy? Is she good, or does she still want him to be like, hey, listen, I need you to get something else still? Like,
Ooh. I would probably be happy for him because it's a step in the right direction. If I'm that supportive wife. Now, I think it could have been the hormones. I was pregnant and we need a job, we got to support. But at the same time, depending on the type of person she was before she got pregnant, did she really believe in his dream or, him wanting to be a professional singer? So them getting signed, yes, it's a step in the right direction. But at the same time, I'm probably going to be like, okay, is it going to be bringing in the money we need? Or are y'all in a janky promoter type of thing? I think she was more of the realistic, don't get me wrong, his head is in the clouds. He feels like he can be this, but I think she may have kept him grounded on, okay, I get it, but we still got to make sure we can do certain things. But I'm going to support you. But can you do this and bring in the money, or do you need to go? Can I take your order somewhere until that money comes?
now can I go take your order?
I'm just saying, like you got to do something, sir.
Um, I would say okay. So if you would have asked me last year when I said I'm not doing this no more,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would have said no. There would not be a two. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, no. I'm gonna give it to you even more. Hell no. That's just how adamant I was about not doing this anymore. Um, I have softened a little. I would say, like again, I realize my passion is more into making series. I love making series, but I also love completion. So I would say I'm at a point now where I can say never. If the opportunity arose and the circumstances were correct, I would be open to finishing the story and doing a second one.
Okay.
Just to
As
wrap
you
it up.
should.
Just to wrap it up, because again, it was intended to be a series. So it was more of a development of these characters and wanted to really see not only them how they because if you haven't seen it, basically they are working with this guy who does mostly secular music. He's like a does like a lot of hip hop and with stuff, basically stuff he does stuff for the streets. I mean, literally the first scene is him beating up somebody. So I mean, it's like it's seeing this gospel group and how they fit into this world. Also, too, with all their individual things that they got going on, because Rhonda's character, his Thorne is he loves the ladies, so
Mm,
he you know what I'm saying. And then of course Marquise's character, he's dealing with being who he is and who he's truly in love with, but also the stigma that the gospel industry puts on that on his relationship and different things like that. And then you have TJ's character, he's dealing with a wife who seems to be not supporting his dreams. Like it's like, hey, I need you to make that money. So it's like he try having to figure out, and again, him stepping into being a father, like it's like that's his priorities are now shifting because he literally has somebody else who's going to truly be depending on him. I mean, like I said, the wife of course can get a job, but like you have a whole fresh baby who can't do nothing. You have to take care of this baby.
yeah.
So what are you going to do? The la la la's ain't getting it. So what are we doing?
I ain't trying to hear it.
So, like I said, I think for the sake of completion, I think if we can get the band back together,
Mm,
and again, if the circumstances are right, whereas, I mean, honestly, would Maverick be open for us to do a second one? I mean, they
mm,
might be like, nah, we good. I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, it's like again, I think everything will have to fall into place correctly and organically, and I think then I'll say never. I say if everything falls into place how it needs to be, then I would say I would be open to at least finishing the story.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm one of those viewers who gets really upset when I don't know what happens next. I know people,
Exactly.
so I know people are really people because Ronson tells me all the time. People always ask him like, "What happens next?" And he's like, "I don't know. I can't tell you." He's like, "That's all we shot." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, because again, it was supposed to be a series,
Mm.
so it was
So if
supposed."
it would have been a series, it would have went further on.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Fox Soul would have paid for it, and
Mm.
everybody would have got their checks, and
That's
we
right.
and we would have moved forward. So yeah, so so people. That's why it has not moved forward because again, it was originally supposed to be a series. The deal did not happen, and again, we just packaged it as the film and Maverick distributed. Thank you to Maverick, and that's where it is.
Yeah.
So, like I said again, if everything falls together organically, I would not have an issue with doing this again, and that also includes schedules have to be aligned. I'm not stressing myself out. I'm not going to be trying to be all over the place.
Mm-mm.
Nah, I'm not in that space anymore. I'm really not. I'm like, listen, It's gonna get done when it's. I'm just about that with anything now. It'll get done when it's organically supposed to get done.
I get it.
Listen, I mean, I'm not trying to play the age card. I mean, I know I'm still a young man considered, but still, like, it's like when you get older, though, it's just like your priorities shift. It's not,
Yeah.
my life is not the grind anymore.
No, not at all.
It's not. I'm not there. There are people who still there. God bless you. I'm not there anymore. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Mm-mm. I take peace over anything. I stay in the house all the time. I stay in the house most of the days. I don't even go outside. I might look through the blinds, but that's about it.
I feel it. I
It's
feel
too
it.
peoply outside, and people stress and take my energy. I try to just keep to myself, and that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
1000%. All right, let's move on to the big project,
Mm,
the one that had the most emotional toll on you, I'm sure.
mm, mm.
Pastor Thorne 2,
Yes.
Sins of the Father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's heavy. It's I as as a writer, I enjoyed writing that because I knew the people that I knew that I wanted to play these roles, I knew y'all were going to kill it. So I took pleasure in, all right, how can I layer these characters and how can we peel back these onions. And my goal was to make it as heavy as possible. And I feel like I succeeded in that
You
because
did. Succeeded abundantly. You did.
No, but serious on a serious note, but we definitely we hit some heavy things things that are happening in the world, things that are happening in the church, um, things that are happening in families. So I just want, again,
Mhm.
I'm always want to be clear. I want to make sure that I'm telling these transparent stories so that people can see themselves, people can see these situations. And if you have been a part, if this is something you have experienced, I want this to be a catharsis for you to where if you need to release or if you need to get some help or just whatever, I want to make sure that we're telling these real stories and people really can really get something from it. That's
Mhm.
that's what I hope that's happening when we do these movies and shows and things like that. Talk about well, of course we're gonna spoil things. Yeah, you should have seen it. This movie came out
Right.
last year.
Last year. Yeah.
Was it last year?
I think so. Yeah. I think it was
Yeah,
last year.
yeah.
Mhm.
The movie came out last year. I should have seen it already. If you haven't, it's on Peacock, Tubi, Amazon Prime, all that great stuff, Roku channel, all that great stuff. Check it out. Um, what were your thoughts on Pastor Thorne 2? Because your character was mentioned in the first one, but this is our first time seeing her in the second one. So she was briefly
Mhm.
mentioned because she's the one that dropped JR off at the house and then just left. Well, no,
Yeah.
not drop off at the house. I'm sorry, that's in the play because this actually Pastor. I don't know if you knew this, but Pastor Thorne is actually based off a play I wrote called Surrender.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it was a play at
Would
first.
have loved to do that.
Yeah. It was called Surrender. The play was called Surrender, and in the play, the mother, we didn't see the mom, but we hear the car drive
Uh,
off when she
okay.
drops the son off to, well, what was drop was it the drop the son off to the, no, I'm sorry, no, that didn't happen to Surrender either. That was I took that from another play I wrote. That
Uh,
happened in another play that I wrote, that part where she dropped the son off to the dad, and we hear her drive off. In the play, your character's son, is actually his brother. Like no, like in the play, it's actually his brother. It wasn't no like, in
oh,
Pastor Thorn 2, it's the secret. The secret is that he's
yes.
actually the brother,
Yeah.
but that wasn't a secret in the play. In the play, he actually was already established as his brother.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm like you getting stuff mixed up. I'm getting all the stuff I wrote mixed up. That was another play that happened when the mama we didn't see the mama, but we hear her drive off after she drops the son off, and yeah.
Mhm.
So, but you are mentioned, because your character is on the phone with Pastor Thorne in the first one. We don't see her, but she is on the phone with him, and so then we see you on the second one. You are making breakfast for your ex-husband.
Mm-hmm. And you had to come back to me. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Before we get into the heavy stuff, initially, like what were you thinking about this role? Like um what decision did you make as far as how you wanted to bring this character to life?
Um, well, I mean, especially that's not something I experienced. So to have to tap into that, um, I just thought about other people who I do have in my life who may have experienced something like that. So usually when I don't have experiences, I tap into other people who are around me or I've had conversations with or things like that. So when I first read it, I sat there. When I first read through the script, I sat there for a while
Mm,
and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. There's so many people in the world that go through something like this.
mm-hmm.
And I was just like, OMG. And for whatever reason, because I think I did ask you, I said, am I gonna have to play the young um I can't remember her name, my character. Am I
Yeah.
gonna have to play the younger version of her? Because to actually have to experience that, for whatever reason, I don't know. And I don't know in a past life or something, maybe that might have happened to me, but it was like something was triggering me. Like, I hope I don't have to play that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, why am I feeling like this?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I did think like you said, things like that, it could help somebody. Speak up, say something. Therapy, like that's within our community. Therapy is I'm glad it's been coming out a lot more that people are relying on therapy and getting the help they need and the trauma and the generational curses and breaking that stuff because it needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about, like I said, I sat for a while. I said, this is a lot. Then I said, okay, do I have to play that part? But then I was like, I want to do this. But now having to really tap into that and bring it to life to where, again, believable because it's not something that I've experienced, but that somebody sees it and that might be what they see on TV. That's me, or
Mm-hmm.
that's my mother, or that's my sister, or my friend, that they can say, okay, you need to speak up for yourself. You need to get rid of that heaviness that's on you. So yeah, it was rough, but it was
Yeah.
good.
That I think again, everybody did an amazing job. But the women, y'all, 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 you, Keena, Kimberly, like y'all really, I can't find the words. I can't find the words. But y'all really tapped you tapped into something that just really translated on the screen, like you've been saying, like really, like there are people who really have dealt with this, and I applaud you and thank y'all again for trusting me but and also allowing yourselves to really bring these characters to life. I definitely appreciate that. Yeah. So, um, the reveal. And I want to ask you, as Kateea, because the reveal, of course, we reveal again. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen it, sorry. Um, um, a spoiler alert is revealed that Jr. is not Jacob's son, but it is Jacob's brother because Bishop raped your character when y'all were younger, and then basically he told you you need to, because your character was with Jacob, and Bishop said you are going to tell Jacob that this is his kid, and not only that, you're going to leave him and go away.
Exactly.
So ask Kateea, right? Because again, if we watch the first one, it is portrayed as if Jacob abandoned his son, like Jacob didn't have time for his son. And of course, your character says that at the very beginning. But knowing what you know as far as the actual truth of the matter, like, do you think your character shares some of the blame as far as deceiving Jacob? Like, what is your thoughts on that? Do you think, like, of course she's traumatized, of course, of what happened to her. She was raped, and then of course she's still being manipulated by this man.
Right.
But however, should she have taken some type of responsibility or accountability for not telling Jacob the truth?
I think that's kind of difficult decision, only because of what you said, the trauma, the manipulation, and now you have gone so many years of this story that you have made up. This is your son. You're not there to take care of him. So now you believe it. That's all you believe. So because of what you dealt with, that is what you believe. Now, on the other hand, if she had a strong enough will, then yes, she should have. No matter what the consequences would have been at that time, because you allowed Jacob to fester so much hate and anger against you from taking his son away. But this whole time, you could have told him in the beginning, your father did this to me, and this is what happened. And he may not have been as mad. Yeah, he still would have been mad, because you stepped out on him and things like that, especially with his father. But knowing what he did to you and his father took advantage of you, it may not have been as bad after, I don't even remember how old JR was or at the time, once he finally realized, it could have probably been different. So that's what's on one hand, no blame because of everything she went through, but on the other hand, yeah.
Yeah, but that's why that line that your character said was so vital. She says it was as if the lie was the truth.
Yeah.
And that's why that line was important, because in her mind, again, because of the trauma and the manipulation, in her mind, Jacob is the daddy.
Yep.
And that's what the bishop was forcing her to believe.
Yeah.
So I think the obvious, this next question is the obvious answer. We all saw it. But what do you think made your character say, "Hey, okay, it's time for me to finally like what?" Because I mean, we saw the scene he's talking about. Because Jacob saw his friend, that she was being, basically forced to have sex with the bishop, his friend that was working at the church. So he comes home. Jacob's, comes to your character's house, and he's upset and he's talking. And of course we see at that moment, your character's at the sink and she's shaking and all this stuff. In your mind, in Katea's mind, what do you think was like, okay, this is the moment I need to confess everything? Like, okay, I need to, why would she choose this moment? And you're like, why do you think?
In my mind. I think she just got to her breaking point. I think it just got to that point. Not only did, Jacob reveal his dad or Bishop has been doing these things to other women. And then I don't know, like with JR, remember when he tried to do with the other the young girl, when he tried to take advantage of her? Did he tell her that? I can't remember.
So
I can't remember that.
wait, ask the question again. I'm sorry.
So so what was it? So with Bishop knowing that, so did Jacob, I can't remember, did Jacob tell Lord, what was my character's name?
Yeah, let me find it. Let me find it. I gotta find it. It started with an N. I know that.
Yeah. Natalie. No. Was it Natalie? No.
It might have been Natalie. Lord Jesus.
It's Lord.
That's all you can say. Lord Jesus.
Right. Help me. I think it was
I'm gonna
Natalie.
find it. I'm gonna find it. Pastor Thorne 2, Pastor Thorne 2. Where's the script?
Oh man.
Anyway, featured cast members. Okay, featured cast member list. Pastor Thorne 2. All right, here we go. Your character's name was Nadia.
Nadia. Still close. Natalie,
Right.
Nadia. Okay. So, of course they sitting there. He's coming back and forth to the house. I can't remember. Jacob told Nadia what Bishop was doing to his assistant, right? The girl they had raised.
Yes.
Okay. Now, did Jacob tell Nadia about what JR had did to the young girl in the first season? First movie? I don't know. So I'm wondering if at that point it's like, where's he getting this from? Why is he doing these types of things? He's throwing trying to take advantage of this young girl, and then his Bishop is doing these things. He did this to me. I think finally I'm breaking, and I just need to tell somebody that now it's broken in me that this is no longer the truth. This has been a lie all of these years, and I need to come clean because it's tearing me up inside. I'm on medication. I'm shaking when it's still triggering me. When you talking about things that he's done, I just got to say it. I got to come out and say it. And I think that's what happened at that point, that she just needed to come out like, this is not your son. Yeah, you were a good man. This is your father, Bishop. This is an offspring of him. And something, and that's, that was handy. I was like, that was a handy show to think about that stuff. To think about that. Oh my goodness. I'm trying not to cry right now. That's why I keep laughing. I'm trying not to cry because that hits me. It does. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I said, Pastor Thorne 2 is a very, very heavy movie. It's a very heavy movie. And again, everybody did such an amazing job telling this story, bringing these characters to life. And I hope when people watch, I hope people again get something from it. If this is something that has happened to you, I hope and pray that you have the strength and the courage to get help, to talk to somebody. Break free.
Yes.
Break free. And I think that was the beautiful thing about this film, that you saw these characters once the truth came out, everybody pretty much broke free in their own way. Especially the mama. She was like, I'm gonna really break free. I'm gonna go ahead and eliminate the problem altogether.
He is the common denominator. You are the weakest link. We got to let you go.
Yeah. I wanted to. I'm going to talk about this whenever I get the chance to interview Kimberly. I really wanted to actually do a scene, but I didn't feel like finding no plants. I actually wanted to do a scene of showing her like
in the
garden, but I didn't feel like trying to find no plants. I ain't feel like doing all that. I know that's. I know people say that's so lazy. I know. I admit it. I'll take it. And I like I said, and I think that again, this is important. This is for writers out there. You're writing. It's important to do your research about things. I literally was like, okay, what plant, um, what is a plant that people will use to unalive somebody that they can use to unalive somebody. So I did the research. I don't want people to think they see my Google search and be like, what is he thinking? No, no, no. This is research for writing. But I think again, as a writer, it is your duty to do your due diligence. I think a lot of times writing these stories sometimes fail because people are, it's cool to use their imagination, but it has to be grounded in some type of realism.
Right.
And I think that's a lot of times, some things fall short because you're so going pew 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 here with the imagination. It's like, okay, where is what realism? But like, what's happening? Like, what? So I think it's definitely important. Make sure you please do your research when things happen. Even when it comes, like when I write stuff for medical stuff, I have people that that are doctors, physicians. I'm like, hey, I want to do this. Give me the realistic. I even wrote it, like I said, I wrote a story where one of the main characters had breast cancer, and I was like, okay, I need a realistic timeline. 'Cause I want to
Mhm.
make sure that we're telling the correct story. Now, I had cancer, but I had leukemia. I can tell you that
Right.
firsthand. But everything else, I was like, and even when it comes to like even legal stuff, I have a friend that's a lawyer, that's an attorney. I said, hey, how many years can this person get for doing this particular crime? Like you know, again, use your resources. Use your resources, do your research. Again, make your stuff grounded in some type of realism so that way people can really be invested in your story and they're not trying to take time to poke holes in whatever you're trying to do.
Exactly.
I just went off on a little tangent there, but I just wanted to.
Okay. But no, somebody needed to hear it. Somebody needed to.
I said all that to say that I did the research when that plant that Kimberly's character was talking about when the bishop's wife was talking. I did my research. I said, okay, this is the plant, and we're gonna, this is how you do it and all the other stuff. So yeah, but I just thought it would have been nice to at least do a quick flashback of her actually in the garden. But like I said, I
Yeah.
didn't feel like finding
No,
no
God.
no garden. I ain't feel like doing all that now. I ain't feel like doing that now. Um. In the end of the second one, JR goes off, and Nadia's trying to call him and to nothing. He doesn't pick up nothing.
Mhm.
Where do you think? What do you think in your mind? What do you think Nadia is doing now? That
Mm,
time has passed. How's her relationship with JR?
mm,
How's her relationship with Jacob? In your thought, what do you think?
mm. How much time has passed?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm gonna say, let's just say a year. A year has passed.
Okay. A year has passed. I would say that Jacob and Nadia are have more of a cordial relationship, friendship in a sense, not, because even though he went through what he went through, he had to turn back to her, was living with her for, well, not living, well, staying with her for a little bit type of thing. I think they can be more of a co-parenting type of friendship in a sense,
Hmm.
on a positive note. JR, on the other hand, is going to take him some time. Is going to take him some time. Um, he's going out, exploring the world, trying to figure life out. And because he was already smelling himself that he was grown enough, he didn't need nobody. It's going to take him some time to process that because the only man that he really loved and adored was Bishop. And now he's not gone. I mean, now that he's gone, I don't foresee that them being able to mend that mother son relationship that quick,
Mm.
especially now knowing what happened. Mm.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think JR definitely obviously needs some time. Um, I think. I think that JR will definitely better understand his mother. I
Yeah.
think that he would definitely have more grace towards his mom. And even with his own actions, like I said again, he was definitely hell on earth. And I think he would be more I think I think he'll have a better relationship with his mom. Um with Jacob, even even with um even with him discovering that Jacob is not his brother, it's still, even all the years of him being his father, it's like you
Mm,
still didn't make me a priority.
true.
So I
That is
still
true.
think so I still think that anger and that resentment is still there, and it's still gonna all I think it's always gonna be there.
Yeah.
Um, even because even when Jacob tries to like apologize, he snaps and always blames JR for something.
True.
And so it's like I feel like they just have this contentious relationship, and even now the revelation is now that they are brothers. It's like, dude, I don't have to listen to you. Like, I really don't have to talk to you because you're not even my dad. Like, I can see JR
Mhm.
saying like, "You not even my dad, nigga." Like, I can see JR saying that. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah. So
Yeah, and that's true.
so
I can see that. Hmm.
yeah. So it's like I'm not sure. I'm not sure how JR and Jacob's relationship would be. Like if I really were to sit down and really live with it and really live with these characters again, I think he will mend things with his mom for sure.
Yeah,
You know,
eventually.
this wasn't his mom's fault. Like it wasn't his mom's fault. And again, and also we spoke on this too because JR is the bishop's son. Um, you mentioned that JR, JR tried to rape this other girl in the first
Mhm.
one. In the first one, so it's like I think JR is really looking at himself in the mirror, like I don't want to be because you did this to my mom.
Yeah,
So I don't want to be. I don't want to be you. I
yeah.
don't want that. So let me get my stuff together. And again, I feel like he's definitely going to have more grace and more compassion for his mother, because of all the things that she dealt with.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I foresee, I would see that JR definitely and Nadia would definitely, I think their relationship will be okay. I think they would definitely mend things. But like you said, it'll take some time because again,
Hmm.
you have to wrap it around your head. Two things, well, three things. One, the reason why you're here is because your mother was raped.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
only reason why you're here.
Yep.
So you wasn't even created out of love. You was created out of hate.
Hmm.
Two, your daddy is your brother. And three, your granddaddy is your daddy.
Right.
So, and it's like, no, here's the fourth. Here's the fourth thing. If you just want to throw it out there, if you want to, whatever, make it even weirder. Your grandma. What is your grandma? What is she? Because I mean, it's like, your grandma
Your
is
mama.
your
No.
stepmama. Is it stepmama?
Yeah,
Yeah, your
stepmama.
stepmama.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
your mama's your stepmama. I mean, your
Hmm.
grandma is your stepmama.
That's a lot to unpack for
That's a
it. Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
That's a lot.
a lot to unpack.
Mm-mm. Who Jesus?
Yeah. I don't know where you gonna go with that one. Look, if you come out with Pastor Door 3, everybody just need to be in a counseling session. And that's all it need to be. Everybody going through counseling.
That's what it sounds like to me. And
'Cause,
let's not forget, Jacob still has the STD. So let's just throw that out there. I mean,
oh
he
yeah.
does still have that. That Leslie planned.
That was ooh. That was that was some ooh petty. T to the T T. Oh Oh my God. When
Oh
that
Lord.
curtain revealed in the show, I was like, that's all I could do was, oh
Right.
my God.
Right. Um, I want to get into it real quick before we close, because you was just doing a little jig. Dancing. You are a dancer. You dance. I love when you post dance videos. I always tell you I need to come to a dance class with you. And yeah. Um, you retired from dancing? You shaking your head.
Listen, the age has gotten the best of me,
Oh no. Oh
but I'm trying to
no.
get back into it. I
Okay.
really am. But,
Okay.
but the knees is knees.
I got you.
The who. I'm like the old people now. It started. I know when it's raining. I know when the rain is coming. I'm rubbing the knees. I'm like, oh, it's gonna rain today. Yeah. But it's my love, joy, and passion, dancing. So I can't give it up. I cannot. I just take some ibuprofen and hopefully we'll be okay the next day. But I'll be walking like a baby giraffe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel it.
Mhm.
I feel it for sure.
But what were you gonna ask? Let me ask that question first. What were you
No,
gonna
no, no, no.
ask about it?
I didn't necessarily have a question. I just wanted you to talk. Like I said, you pretty much said it. You know, you love. It's your love. It's your passion, your joy. Like I said, I just enjoy when you post the dancing videos. I love. You know, I'm a dancer at heart.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, because I mean, okay. So I went to a fine arts school. I went to Days in Fine Arts here in
Okay.
Augusta. And I did. And I took dance. I took tap. I took jazz. And I took African dance. So.
Mhm.
I dance. And now it may not look like it in my adult years that I know that I've been trained in dancing and things like of that nature, but I do dance. But I like I said, it's fun. I
Yeah.
enjoy dancing. I think dancing is fun, and I see that whenever you post your videos, it's like you are having a ball and having a good time, and really just let yourself go and
It's
just be.
freeing. Yes,
Yeah.
freeing. It really is. It's like you just let go of all worries, cares, whatever. Like, what's the whole thing? Dance like somebody is watching or
Hmm.
nobody's watching. No, dance like everybody is watching. Y'all gonna see me. I love just to dance.
Yeah.
That's and I've been doing it for a long time. I
Yeah.
mean, not I didn't start off professionally. I never went to fine arts or, went to I mean, of course, like growing up, I would go to like the YWCA and take ballet and tap and contemporary things like that, but
Hmm.
not professionally getting into it. And then hip hop, of course, that's just whatever. I was always the person at the parties in the circle in the middle. They like, who in there? It's me. I'm in that gig. That was always me at all the parties. So it's just, and then growing in North Carolina, actually, when I lived in Greensboro, that's when I really got into it more on the professional side of
Okay.
dancing. And so that that was a joy to get into doing that. I mean, Greensboro was a very big moment for me because that's where I got into acting more, the
Hmm.
dancing professionally, the modeling, like
Hmm.
all of that is what happened in Greensboro, North Carolina for me. So I'm always grateful for that. That's where
Yeah.
I met some amazing people. Of
Yeah.
course, Carlos. Shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so
Um, Trick question.
uh,
If you had to pick one, which one would you pick? Acting or dancing?
ooh, um, oh my God. I don't I'm gonna say acting.
Okay. Why?
Only because I could be a dancer in an acting role. So see, I could make it work for me.
Good. I like how you did that.
But yeah, oh, honestly, I don't. Ooh, that's hard. That is definitely a hard one. Because like I said, I fell into the acting. I love and enjoy it and being different characters. And people always told me, you don't have any sense. Your elevator don't go to the top floor. And now I can get paid for it. So I enjoyed that. But dancing, like I said, that carefree feeling, that just letting everything go and releasing whatever you may be dealing with, I can't say. That's a hard one. I might have to sit and really think about that.
Well, the beautiful thing is that you don't, in real life, you don't have to choose. You can do whatever you want to do. You can be multifaceted and do all of your heart's desires.
Yes.
I just like to ask people that, like if it ever came down to like, hey, if I had to choose one, like for me, it would be writing. Like if I had to, like, out of all the things that I do, like they were like, hey, I need you to pick one thing that you want to do. It'd be writing. Like it's no question.
And you're good at it. So I don't know why you wouldn't choose it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll take it.
Definitely.
Yes, I appreciate it. Well, Kateea, thank you so much. This was definitely fun. A lot of laughs. I definitely appreciate it. Catching up with you. Oh, before we get off, I'm sorry. We got to talk about one more thing, and that is because I'm going to talk about this with every single In the Nick of Time cast member. Kimberly's cooking. Her breakfast.
I always missed it.
You missed it? No, I thought didn't you have like some grits at one point? Like I think it was like when we saw season 3. Didn't you? I felt like you came in Sunday. You came in on a Sunday because I remember you said you had specific things you couldn't eat.
Yeah.
And you were like, you had some grits. I think she had some turkey bacon or something like that, and some turkey sausage or something. I feel like you was there for season 3. I feel like you had Kimberly's breakfast.
Wait, season 3, that's the picture on the steps and the scene, the kissing scene, the non-kissing.
Yes.
Did I eat?
Yeah, I feel like you did because she cooked on Sunday and you came in on a Sunday.
She did and does and will and yep. I remember and yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, Kimberly. And she lived down here, don't she? Let me call her up.
Real quick. Since she want to make some breakfast. Since she want to make some breakfast.
Listen, I leave the house for that. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I can't wait to get her on, and so we can talk about that food. Because me and Javetta I think we went on for a little minute talking about that. That and I tell you again, listen, if Kimberly asks, do y'all want me to cook some food? Immediately y'all need to say yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No question, no nothing. Don't even ask her what she cooking because what she cook is gonna be good. So just say yes. Mm-hmm.
Period. Right. Well, all right, Kateea. Thank you again. This has been great. Thank you for taking this trip down memory lane. It's always great catching up and laughing. And like I said, keep me posted when you are ready, so I can get on the road and we can do these dance classes.
Okay, and let me know when you're ready to start filming again.
Oh, here we go. I say one little thing, and now here we go.
Matter. You said it, okay? And put me in something with some laughs and some funny stuff. I'm always crying. It's dramatic.
That's true. Okay, I got you. Okay. Because I was about to debate you real quick. I was like,
no, you can't.
You're right.
You can.
Exactly right.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh gosh. All right, y'all. It has been another great chat, and until the next time, we'll see y'all next time here on VPN Chat. Peace.